In case any of you got some baby chicks for Easter, joining us today is Dana Zook, who is our Livestock Extension Specialist for the Northwest District. And Dana, can you tell us a little bit what might go into raising chickens? I mean, let's say we went to the store and got some and we brought them home. There's a little bit more to it than just that.
For sure, there's a lot that goes into it. You don't want to go to the store and before you plan a little bit. What you want to do is, if you're going to buy chicks from the store, you want to make sure that you have your brooder set up and ready before you come home.
What is a brooder?
All right, so a brooder is what we would put baby chicks in.
Okay.
It's a place where the water and feed and a heat source is, so they keep them very confined. Baby chicks are not the smartest animals, and so we want to keep them real close to the heat source. Keep them close to the feed and water source.
Because they can't regulate their body temperature very well,
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. So that's where they will stay for the first portion of their life, probably 6 weeks at least,
okay.
Until they start to outgrow that, and then we can introduce them into maybe some more normal facilities, kind of like we have here.
Yeah, so this is more for adult chickens.
Yes.
After we've raised them from baby chicks and we're ready to put them outside. Is this a good setup? I mean, what do we do here?
This is a perfect setup. Okay. This is a great small backyard sort of setup. Of course, you can use any building as long as it's retrofitted for your chickens. You want to know what type of chicken that you're going to have. It's going to be a larger breed. You need a little bit more space for them, but a smaller breed, such as a Rhode Island Red, they can use a smaller facility like this.
Okay. So here, I think we probably have like 6 or 7 chickens that maybe come in here.
Yeah.
And so we've got water and food, and it's elevated. Can you explain why we elevate the water and food?
Yes, chickens can be kind of a dirty animal, just like any animal. But by elevating the water, we can see here that the water is elevated. There's nipples on the bottom. It makes them raise their head up, and they're not getting in the water. They're raising their head up to drink out of it. They're not going to play in the water, get feces in the water, or anything like that. And then the same thing goes with the chicken feeder. They may get up there and roost on it a little bit, play around on it, but they're not going to get into it, walk into it. It just is a more sanitary type thing.
And it doesn't create as much waste that way.
Absolutely, so that's another really big factor.
Excellent. All right, so obviously these chickens are out running around during the daytime, and then they just naturally know to come back, right?
A lot of times they do.
Protection.
Yes, a lot of times after a certain period of time they'll learn where they will roost at night, and you can, if you want to do the free range thing, you can allow them out during the day, and a lot of times they will go in at night because there are a lot of things that like to eat chickens. So
they're low on the totem
That's
pole.
right, for sure. Yes.
So they're out kind of enjoying some insects and things like that, and maybe some garden vegetables a little bit too. That's one of the concerns if you are a gardener. But so in the back here, we have kind of the roosting boxes. And we've got how many, like 5 or 6, 4 roosting boxes in there, it looks like.
Okay.
So they just jump in there and they know where they need to go.
They do their thing. So a lot of times, chickens they like to lay their eggs in a dark, kind of out of the way location. You only need about 1 nesting box for 4 to 5 hens. Okay. And so you don't need a whole ton of them because they'll probably only use just a couple.
So they can share.
Yeah, they can share. Typically they won't all be in there doing it at the same time, laying their eggs at the same time. You like to have some bedding, kind of like what we have here, not for the chicken's comfort, but so that when the egg is laid, it doesn't break, and then it kind of keeps it clean until you can collect it.
Right, and so we need to collect them every day, and do chickens lay every day?
Yes, some chickens will lay for you every day, but typically it's every other day. It just depends on the age of the chicken. But we do, we want to collect them at least once a day, especially during the hot times of the year and cold. We don't want the egg to freeze, and we don't want it to get too hot.
Okay, all right. Now some chickens, they'll quit laying in the wintertime because it's day length, and if you put a heat lamp out there, I know sometimes they'll keep laying. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, that is one thing. Chickens are affected by day length as far as laying. It is really good to have them go through what's called a molt. Okay, and that typically happens when the day length decreases. So it's healthy for them to do that, because if they continually lay year after year, they won't do it, but it's hard on their body. So the molting is a refreshing period.
So that's when they lose their feathers?
Yes,
okay.
That's when they lose their feathers.
Okay. So they quit laying?
They quit laying while they are molting. They'll lose their feathers and they'll look pretty rough and ugly. We do get a lot of questions about that.
Okay.
And so
but that's a healthy thing.
That's a healthy thing. And you can put a light in your hen house to keep them laying, but it is good for them to go through a molt once a year.
Okay. We all need a break. Right?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing this information with us.
You're welcome. It was great to be here.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.